Welcome to my channel, The World Coin. Here we explore coins from around the globe, their history, design, and hidden value. Stay tuned and join me on this journey through the fascinating world of coins. I have two videos of one new penny. So let's get started. The one new penny coin of 1982 is a small but fascinating part of British numismatic history. On the surface, it looks like an ordinary coin that was used in everyday transactions, but when you study it more deeply, it tells a long story about the evolution of British currency, the decimalisation process, and the symbolic role of Queen Elizabeth II during her reign. Every detail, from the inscription to the metal composition, reflects not only the economy of Britain in the early 1980s but also the wider traditions of coinage stretching back centuries. The coin is often collected by hobbyists, historians, and those who admire the legacy of decimal coins. The 1982 issue, in particular, is interesting because it marks one of the last years in which the coin carried the wording, "New Penny," before it was changed simply to "1 penny." That makes this coin a historic bridge between two naming systems. The "New Penny" coins were introduced in 1971, when Britain officially transitioned from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the modern decimal currency. Before 1971, £1 was divided into 20 shillings, and each shilling into 12 pence, making a total of 240 old pence in a pound. This was a very complex system compared to the decimal structure used in most countries. To simplify trade, accounting, and align with global monetary systems, Britain introduced the decimal pound in 1971, where £1 equals 100 new pence. The new decimal coins were clearly marked with the word "new" in their denomination to avoid confusion with the old pre-decimal coins still circulating. The coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, who had already been on the throne for 30 years by 1982. Coins serve as enduring symbols of monarchs, and the 1982 penny reflects her image at a younger stage of her long reign. This was the second major portrait of Elizabeth II to appear on UK coinage, designed by Arnold Machen in 1968 and used until 1984. This portrait shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a jewelry piece that had originally belonged to Queen Mary. It became one of the most iconic representations of Elizabeth II in her mid-reign years. The early 1980s were marked by economic challenges, including inflation and industrial changes under Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Though the penny was a low-value coin, it still played a role in everyday transactions. By 1982, the cost of goods was rising, but pennies remained essential for pricing, vending machines, and day-to-day cash use. Portrait: a right-facing bust of Queen Elizabeth II. Designer: Arnold Machen, whose initials, often subtle, can be found near the Queen's neck. Elizabeth II DG Reg FD 1982. This is abbreviated Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Features: the tiara, detailed facial structure, and graceful lettering reflect the artistry of the period. Design: the crowned portcullis with chains, a historic symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster. Designer: Christopher Ironside. Inscription: New Penny, at the top, with the denomination 1 below. Meaning: the portcullis design links to Parliament and symbolizes governance, stability, and tradition. Value: 1 new penny. Year of issue: 1982. Country: United Kingdom. Metal composition: bronze 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, 0.5% tin. Weight: 3.56 grams. Diameter: 20.32 millimeters. Thickness: 1.52 millimeters. Edge: plain, smooth, no milling. Mint: Royal Mint, Montresant, Wales. The 1 new penny was a very common coin in circulation. People used it for everyday transactions such as buying newspapers, candies, bus tickets, and other small purchases. In 1982, the coin had purchasing power that was more significant than today. Although modest in value, it was part of millions of daily cash exchanges. The "new" wording was meant to help distinguish it from the old penny. However, by the early 1980s, most of the old pre-decimal coins had been withdrawn from circulation. Therefore, in 1982, the Royal Mint decided to phase out the word "new." That makes the 1982 coin the last year of the new penny series before the coins were changed to simply red, 1 penny, in 1983 onwards. Historical transition. Last year of the new penny inscription. Common but symbolic. Although minted in large numbers, it represents the closing chapter of a decade-long naming system. Affordable entry coin. It's widely available, making it a great starting point for beginner collectors. Variations. Collectors often look for mint errors, proof versions, or high-grade uncirculated examples. Circulated condition. Generally worth only its face value, 1p, though sometimes a few pence to collectors. Uncirculated or proof condition. Can fetch a few pounds, depending on condition. Error coins. Rare minting errors, misstrikes, off-center strikes, double die, can raise value significantly. The 1982 penny is more than just a coin, it reflects Britain's identity at the time. Monarchy. Showcasing the Queen's authority and continuity. Democracy. The portcullis symbol connects the coin to Parliament. Modernization. The coin represents decimalisation, modernization of the economy, and Britain's integration into global trade systems. Everyday life. For millions of people, this coin was in their pockets daily, used in shops, buses, schools, and banks. 1971. First year of the new penny, with identical design. 1982. Last year of new penny. 1983 onwards. Changed inscription to 1 penny. 1992 change. Composition changed from bronze to copper-plated steel due to rising copper prices. Thus, the 1982 penny sits at a crucial turning point in its series. The portcullis design has been used in British coinage since the time of Henry VII. Although low in value, the penny was often kept by children as a lucky coin or for small collections. The 1982 penny is a last of its kind coin. These often attract historical importance in coin series. In mint sets, the 1982 penny can be found in brilliant uncirculated quality, appealing to numismatists. Despite its small size, it captures Britain's culture of monarchy and democracy on a single piece of bronze. The 1 new penny coin of 1982 featuring Queen Elizabeth II is a humble but historically rich coin. It marks the end of the new penny era, connecting Britain's decimalisation journey with its royal and parliamentary traditions. For collectors, it may not hold high monetary value, but its significance lies in being a symbol of transition, a coin that represents change, continuity, and everyday life in 1980s Britain. Next video. The 1 new penny coin of 1974 is one of the most interesting small denomination coins produced in the United Kingdom during the era of decimalisation. It holds historical significance not only because of its design and the fact that it bore the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, but also because of its position in the United Kingdom's transition from the traditional pounds, shillings, and pence system to the more simplified decimal coinage system, which was introduced officially on the 15th of February 1971, often referred to as Decimal Day. By 1974, decimalisation was still relatively new in Britain, and many people were still adjusting to the use of coins denominated in new pence. The 1 new penny was an essential coin in daily life, being the equivalent of 1/100th of a pound sterling. It was primarily struck for circulation but also appeared in proof and specimen sets for collectors. The 1974 issue is notable because, while the coins were minted, there was no official circulation release of 1 new penny coins dated 1974. Instead, they were only issued in proof sets for collectors, making them far scarcer compared to other years. This rarity gives the 1974 dated coin a special place in British numismatic history. Before decimalisation, British currency followed a system that dated back centuries. £1 equals 20 shillings. 1 shilling equals 12 old pence. Therefore, £1 equals 240 old pence. This system was quite complicated compared to the decimal system used in most of the world. When the government decided to modernize the currency, the Decimal Currency Act of 1969 laid the foundation. On the 15th of February 1971, the UK officially shifted to the decimal system. £1 equals 100 new pence. As part of this transition, new coins were introduced, including the 1/2 new penny, 1 new penny, 2 new pence, 5 new pence, 10 new pence, and 50 new pence coins. The 1 new penny was crucial for small everyday purchases. It replaced the old penny, 1d, but it was worth 2.4 old pence. That meant the new penny was larger in value than the pre-decimal penny, which initially confused the public. By 1974, the coinage system was stabilizing, but the Royal Mint still used the word new on the coins to help the public distinguish between the old pre-decimal pennies and the new decimal pennies. This practice continued until 1981, after which the word new was dropped, and coins simply bore the word 1 penny. The obverse front of the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen. This portrait, introduced in 1968, shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, one of her most recognizable and elegant crowns. The inscription reads, Elizabeth II DG. Reg. FD. 1974 inches. DG. Reg. FD. Stands for Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, meaning by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This was the standard obverse design for UK coins from 1968 until 1984, when it was replaced with a new portrait by Raphael Makhlouf. The reversed back was designed by Christopher Ironside, the artist chosen by the Royal Mint for most decimal coinage reverses. It depicts a portcullis with chains, an emblem traditionally associated with the Palace of Westminster and used in heraldry. Above the portcullis is a crown, symbolizing the monarchy. The inscription reads, New penny, around the top, and the denomination, 1, below the design. This design became iconic, and a modified version without the word new continued to appear on 1 penny coins after 1981. Denomination: 1 new penny. Year of issue: 1974. Monarch: Queen Elizabeth II. Obverse designer: Arnold Machen. Reverse designer: Christopher Ironside. Composition: bronze 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, 0.5% tin. Weight: 3.56 grams. Diameter: 20.32 millimeters. Thickness: 1.52 millimeters. Edge: plain, smooth, no. Reading: Mint. The Royal Mint, Llantrisant, South Wales. The 1974 1 new penny is considered rare in the context of circulation coins. The Royal Mint produced these coins, but they were never released into general circulation. Instead, the only examples available were those included in proof sets and mint sets issued in 1974 for collectors. This means that if you find a 1 new penny dated 1974 in circulation, it is almost certainly a mistake, counterfeit, or something that slipped out of a set. Genuine examples are generally found in mint condition since they come from sets. Mintage numbers for proof sets in 1974 were relatively low compared to circulation coins, which makes the 1974 1 new penny more desirable for collectors. The 1974 dated coin represents an important transitional period in British currency. Decimalisation was still a fresh memory, and many people were nostalgic for the old pre-decimal coins, which often had greater historical and artistic value. The 1 new penny, however, became a symbol of modernization and practicality. Collectors today view the 1974 issue as special because of its limited availability and non-circulation status. It is often sought after by those assembling date runs of decimal coinage, and it is a highlight in proof sets from the year. Furthermore, the coin reflects the artistry of Christopher Ironside, whose designs helped define British decimal coins for decades. His portcullis design was simple, symbolic, and recognizable, qualities essential for everyday coinage. When collecting this coin, several factors matter. Condition: since the coins were not circulated, most examples are in proof condition with sharp details, mirror-like fields, and frosted designs. Set inclusion: the coin usually comes housed within its original Royal Mint proof or uncirculated set. Coins still in the original packaging are more desirable. Market value: while not astronomically expensive, the 1974 1 new penny commands a higher premium than regular circulated date pennies due to its scarcity. Errors or variants: decimal coins sometimes feature minor striking errors, off-center strikes, or die varieties, which can further increase collector interest. The 1 new penny coin remained in circulation with new dropped in 1982 until 1992, when the coin was reduced in size and minted in copper-plated steel instead of bronze. The original large bronze pennies, including the 1974 issue, were eventually demonetized on the 31st of December 1992. Even though it is no longer legal tender, the coin continues to live on in the collections of numismatists and enthusiasts. For many people, it is a nostalgic reminder of the 1970s, Queen Elizabeth II's reign, and the era of change in Britain's currency system. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A new coin story awaits you every next day.